Today I'm trying to uh, prepare the greenhouse for the summer. The main purpose of the greenhouse is obviously extend your growing season, and in the winter uh, we trap the heat in the house so it will not be too cold for the plants to grow. Uh, uh, but for the summer, it is completely the opposite. We want airflow, and at the same time, we uh, we don't want that much sun hitting the glass and producing heat in the greenhouse to extend the season into the summer for crops that are uh, uh, doesn't handle a temperature over 85 or 90 degrees, because as soon as it reaches that temperature, uh, there will be the flowers will not produce pollinations, and it's not gonna produce fruit. uh, so with that, we need to reverse the work in the greenhouse by doing an airflow, putting shades, and keep the house cooler than the outside. Here is a neglected greenhouse. We have some seedlings for tomatoes. We have some rosemary and a lot of weeds that needs to be taken care of. In the very corner over there, that is the only one left of super red romaine lettuce. We let it grow to go to seeds, so very soon we will harvest the seeds from this. Obviously these leaves now, these lettuce are bitter, so they are not edible. Because the change of weather that's happening, we had temperature in the 80s, in the 70s, and everybody thought, oh, we're gonna be too late to plant our tomatoes or other crops, and everybody start planting. And yesterday and the day before, 28 degrees, 32 degrees in the morning, and all these got frosted. Now we start all over. Then by May we're gonna have a 90 degrees, so it's catching 22. You start early, and then you get 1 or 2 nights of frost, or you start after April 1st, and boom, in May you get very high temperature. So we'll try to just redo everything, and keep going with what we can. So after I removed all these weeds with the shovel, I'm going to make holes in the bed, bury them, and cover them, and then they will decompose and turn into organic matters to feed future crops. So here we put all these weeds in the bed, chop them a little bit with the shovel, and we'll bury them. Here how it looks after we buried all the weeds. And this is the second bed on the right. Same thing, we buried all the weeds and chopped them down uh, to decompose and add organic matters. So when I built this greenhouse, I built it against the recommended direction. The long side facing east and west, and the short side facing north and south. And the reason for that is finding a spot that I did not need to dig or add dirt to level the ground. So the ground was mostly level in this direction, other than the correct direction, which is the long side should be facing north and south, and the short side should be facing east and west. So when winter time come, you have the long side facing south getting most of the sun. However, that would have not worked with me because what I mentioned. Now, to explain how I will manage the greenhouse winter management and summer management. As far as the sun, in the winter comes from this side, comes from these windows, and it comes from the front in the mid afternoon, and the late afternoon it comes from this side. So the sun comes up like in December this direction, and it goes this way, and it comes down in the afternoon and sunset this way. In the summer, the sun comes more toward the north, so it's going to come from these windows in the morning, from the top in mid-afternoon, and it goes behind these trees, it goes down. So in the summer, we have the screens that give shade. The window screens we put on the top of the roof to protect it from hail. So it's giving some shade. In the mid-afternoon, we can put window screens on one of these sides or both of them to limit the sun from hitting the plants in the late afternoon. It will be protected. This is the sun that's coming through the side, the windows. But this, the shade from the screens on the roof. So in the summer, we will add screens on the sides and remove them in the winter. Now, because now we still late March, early April, so we don't deal with hot temperature. So I'm not adding these screens at this time, but I'm getting everything ready. But now I'm gonna plant these broccoli in this bed because broccoli needs temperature below 90 degrees. And after I prepared the beds, I transplanted the broccoli. I'm not going to add the shade on the east side yet. We're going to add the shade on the east side when the temperatures start to rise, maybe end of April or May. So the house doesn't heat up all day long. And if we need to add shade on the west side, if we find out the temperature is getting too high, then we'll do so. But if we add it on the west side only, the sun will hit uh, the greenhouse most of the beginning of the day, it will heat it and will stay hot most of the day. But if it hit it on the by the end of the day, it's not gonna stay that hot. However, we're gonna wait for adding the shade uh, when the temperature starts to come to that point. Now we transplanted the broccoli. We have some celery here and here. We're going to put him in the bed as well, and maybe a couple of these tomatoes will go, and then the rest of these tomatoes will go outside, and hopefully they will survive. So that was a quick video about how to prepare your greenhouse for the summer, especially if you live in an area that gets to 95, 100, and sometimes we have days of 112 last year with that. So we will keep you updated. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time. Please subscribe, like, and share, and hit the bell. You get notified for coming videos, and God bless you.